the tutorial. This is also adds some of the automated Imperial stuff, which we will also learn about as we learn the game. So, this is what a kind of a typical map looks like. Obviously, we have these doors, which are closed. We'll talk about those in a bit. Similar to Gloomhaven, we do get to see the initial deployment of all of the enemies. This doesn't mean that this is going to be all of the enemies on a given mission. There could be more that show up later, either due to the Imperial deciding to put more out when he has the ability to, or the mission progressing and adding more guys. We are going to be playing specific characters just for this tutorial mission. When we're done with this tutorial, we can pick our own characters. But here are the characters that we're going to be, and you guys can feel free. Yes, I have sound effects. You guys can feel free to pick who you want to be. Order does not matter. But here's the characters that we can be for this tutorial up here on top of the board. So who wants to be who? It doesn't really matter, again, because, you know, you don't have to be this character for the campaign. This is just for the tutorial.
I'll be the Wookiee.
Okay. Go ahead and drag that and the cards down to your thingy. Put that there. Put the cards kind of over here, where like the double symbol for now, and then press the X on your big card. Okay. And then, if you would like, you can right-click your guy and press the X on the big card when you're done. And then, if you want, you can right-click your guy and color them your color. So in this specific instance, we are going to be placed in a certain spot. I'm gonna go here. Where's Garkan? Garkan. Where's Garson? Garkan, you're right here. In a typical mission, there is an entrance point which we can kind of place ourselves next to, but in this specific instance, again, we are playing a particular setup thing because of the tutorial. So Yella, I think, is right here, and then Rill, you're right here in this space. You guys can see like the squares and stuff pretty well here, right? The grid. You zoom in onto the map. Okay.
Yes.
Alright, everybody, look, here, this actually goes down here. Goes down here. Everybody look in your class deck. You can go ahead and search it. It doesn't need to be randomized or anything. You'll see that you have a lot of cards that have a XP cost on the bottom left. It's 2 XP, 1 XP, 3 XP, 4 XP. You should have one card. You might have more than one, but I think it's probably just going to be one. One card that does not have an XP cost. It is going to be a weapon with a picture and everything. Take that out. And then flip it over and put it up here on your weapon thing. Whether it's a melee or range, you can tell if it's a melee or range weapon because one has a gun icon and one has a sword icon. Up here, last joke, on your upper left. The reason you put them there is because weapons can potentially have modifications, which are where the cards go underneath that. Anyway, the rest are your class cards. Feel free to take a look at them, but you aren't going to have them at the beginning of a campaign. You will gain XP to earn them as the campaign progresses. You do not need to buy them in any particular order. If you want to, you can save up your XP and buy the 4 XP one as soon as you can, if you would like. Although, keep in mind, if you do that, then you're not going to have anything else in the meantime. Anyway, in a typical game, heroes go first. and I will describe to you what you can do. Oh, also, I should probably add people. Rill, your Jin, I think.
Yeah.
Jay is Yala. I'm Fen. Craig is Garçon. And there we have HP bars. You guys can see that, right?
Where?
Up on the window. Just on the main window. You not see that?
Where's the window?
Literally on your screen right now.
No.
Really? You don't see it?
No.
You have to do it individually? Click
What is the window?
up on the upper left. Click on Hero HP bars.
Where?
I mean,
There
it's
is no thing like that.
Really? There's
Where?
not? Really? There's not? Are you serious
Talking about like
about that?
the game HUD?
Yeah. Do you not see the dice pool either?
No.
No.
That's not good. Maybe if I promote
But
you
does
guys.
that mean the scripting's not going to work?
I didn't do the scripting. Someone else did the scripting. I don't know how to fix that. You guys are just gonna have to, I guess, count on me to keep track of your health, because that's how you keep track of your health. That's the main way to keep track of your health. That's not good. We're gonna have to fix that for next time. There's no time to do it now. That's like a major bug for this, I feel like. Because if you guys can't see this, then what the hell is the point?
It's like we have to use like pencils and paper or something.
Alright, well, whatever. It's fine. I can see it. I will let you know. Rill, if you look on... Actually, let's just everybody look at Rill's character sheet. So, Rill,
Okay.
your health is obviously 10. That means you have 10 HP. Your endurance is 4. So, endurance is how you kind of use some of your special powers. If you look at your quick draw ability, it says 2 of this icon. That is strain that goes directly against your endurance. So you have to spend 2 endurance to do that.
Okay.
I really wish that this worked, and I don't know why it doesn't. It really
You
sucks.
clicking nothing.
That really sucks. I honestly thought that it's supposed to work for everybody, and I don't know why it doesn't. I think that needs to be fixed. I'll have to let the mod owner know about that. Anyway, you cannot willingly go below your endurance, so you could potentially use this 2 times, and then, like, that's it. If something happens to you that causes you, this is called strain, by the way, that causes you to gain strain, but you're out of endurance, you gain damage instead.
Okay.
Speed is how many tiles or how many squares that you can move whenever you take a move action. So you can move up to 5 little squares. And so that's kind of the anatomy. Defense is what you roll when someone is attacking you. You'll roll a white die. It's a good thing I put out these manual dice over here so we could just do that. Although again, it really sucks. I guess we should have tested this before, but I honestly kind of took it for granted that it would work for everybody. Anyway, and so there we go. Don't worry about the stuff on the bottom. We'll talk about that later. As for your specials, you can use these particular ones you can use anytime when it's your turn, generally, or just, you know, follow the step. There's no limits other than, you know, this 2 strain, so you can only do that so many times. Let me find one. I think anybody has one. Oh, here we go. Let's look at Craig's Wookiee hero sheet. So in this particular instance, his charge attack, this little arrow at the start means that it costs an action. Everybody gets 2 actions on their turn. Specifically 2 actions. No more, no less. And in order to do this charge, he has to spend one of those actions and to strain. For this specific thing, because it is a special action, he can only do that once per turn. Because it is a special action. I'm going to give everybody activation tokens. This just helps you keep track of who has gone or not, because, like I said, there is no set turn order. We can decide who gets to go first every round. Oh yeah, I should put it there.
Goes up there.
Alright. So anyway, the actions that you can take are, you can move. Obviously, when you choose a move action, you actually, it's not that you get to move immediately, it's that you get move points equal to your speed. This means that you can then spend those move points in any manner at any time during your turn. You could even, for instance, move, then use your other action to, say, attack, and then move again using the remainder of your points. You could move twice, and just do that. So it's not like Gloomhaven where you have to do things in order. If you use one of your actions to move, you get, like Real gets 5 move points, and then she can move 2, attack, and then move 3 again, and then that's her turn. Movement is actually pretty loose. And I will demonstrate with Rill. So Rill is this is the red thing up here. You can move in any direction, including diagonals. So if she were to grab her 5 movement points, she could move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And by the way, this kind of movement is valid. She can move from here to here in one move because it's diagonal. It counts. It actually does count as a valid movement. And even better than that, say we had enemies like this. She could move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is fully valid movement.
But if the enemies were like, that's not what I want. I can't move through their squares. I can only move diagonal between them.
Yes, so you could move, say, from here to here, but not here. You could, but you have to spend an extra movement point to go through an enemy. You can move through enemies.
Okay.
It costs 1 extra movement point per enemy moved. Does not cost extra to move through a friendly. So feel free to move through a friendly. You cannot stop at any time when you're on another figure. So you cannot like move on top of Diala here, do an attack, and then go. You would have to move here and then move to a free space and then do an attack and then move or whatever.
Okay.
There's no attack of opportunity. If you're next to an enemy, you can feel free to move away if you want. So attack. Attack is basically you just roll dice. If everybody looks at your weapon, at your one weapon card, it will say specifically which dice that you roll. For instance, again using Rill as a guinea pig here, she rolls 2 green for her attack. She rolls 2 green. The person she's attacking will roll either a white or a black die, depending on what's on their sheet. And it's the exact same for an Imperial attacking you. Imperial has a specific thing that they will roll to attack, and then you will roll, depending on your sheet, a black or a white die, whatever's listed for you. And let's pretend that Rill is attacking a stormtrooper. So she rolls this. So here's the results, and I'll roll the stormtroopers thing too. So here's the results. The number. The numbers only matter if you are ranged, which Rill is, and which I am. If you are a melee, or if you are attacking with a melee weapon, the numbers do not matter. You just have to be next to the person, and that's it. The numbers are the accuracy. So in this case, Rill rolled a 2, 1 and a 1, so it's total 2. That means if the enemy was further away from her than 2 spaces, she would miss. Does that make sense?
So far.
Okay. The little X kind of X-ish kind of icon, that is the damage that she does. So in this case, Rill does 1 damage. But if there were more than that, then it would be 2 or 3 damage. However many of those icons there are, that's how many damages that she does. Those are directly negated by this triangle icon on this black die. Every triangle icon negates 1 damage. However, this isn't necessarily a no damage hit, because you can see she also has 2 of these little lightning bolts. 2 surge. If everybody would look at Rill's weapon, you can see that she can spend her surge on things. She got 2 surge, which means she could get +1 accuracy and +1 damage to her attack if she spends those surges. You do not have to spend these in any order. You can pick and choose, but you can only spend 1 specific thing per attack. So you can do this +1 damage once. You can do this +1 accuracy once. You can't do you can't spend 2 surges on just damage. But that's per attack.
Okay.
It's like every single attack, any surges. Another thing that you can use surges for on an attack is you can spend 1 surge to regain 1 endurance. You can only do that once per attack. But again, it's per attack, and again, you have 2 actions. If you wanted to attack twice, you could do that on both attacks. Other things on the dice. Oh, here. I'm gonna find it. Here we go. This icon, this little circle icon on the black dice. This is an evade. This directly negates surges. So if this icon is rolled, you would lose 1 of your surges, so you couldn't spend it on that.
You have to go AFK a second.
All right. Does that make sense? And all the Imperial guys have their own things that they spend surges on. All weapons should have something to spend surges on. Usually. So, keep that in mind.
I steal some of the dice and just keep it over by my thing.
Yeah, go ahead. Because you can't see the dice pool. It would be nice if you could see the HUD dice thing. I don't know. Again, I don't know why that's not a thing, but whatever.
The white.
Yeah, go ahead and steal a white die. Feel free to delete these or
Do
whatever.
I need any of the other die? Should I take the die that are on these?
No, don't worry about it for now.
Alright.
If everybody else wants to, like Lost Joke, if you want to take your weapon uses a green and a yellow, and you use white to defend. I use green and black. And then let's get Craig his red and yellow. I'll hopefully try to see if I can fix that by next week, but who knows, honestly. Like I said, I didn't script this. This is basically just a modded thing from someone else. I'll do that later. Alright, so that's the other thing you can do. And you, as heroes, are able to attack twice if you would like to. The bad guys, the regular like card, figures, do not get to attack twice. They only are allowed to attack once per turn. So keep that in mind.
Alright. So question on my range blaster. What is the range?
The range is your accuracy. Remember that you have to roll your die, and your accuracy is what you roll. So in this case, your accuracy would have been 3, which means they can't be more than 3 spaces away from you, or else you would miss.
All right.
And like I said, for melee users, there's no range. You just have to be next to the person, including diagonals. Diagonals do count for that. All right, another thing you can do. You can interact. Interact, for instance, with a door to open it. In order to interact with a door, you do have to be directly next to the door. In order to interact with, for instance, a gray terminal, which you may or may not want to do, it depends on the mission. In this case, there's nothing to do with these for you guys. But you have to be either next to or on. You can be on a terminal, you can be on a crate to interact with it, but you don't have to be. You can be next to it. But just, being on it does not, like, stop you from interacting with it or anything. For crates, crates have loot. If you interact with a crate, you not only get a random supply card that you can use during that mission, but you also get to take the crate, and at the end of the mission, you get 50 bucks, 50 credits for every crate that you have. Obviously, on this mission, there's only the one crate. Other missions will have multiple crates. You can rest. You can take an action to rest. Resting is basically what it sounds like. You will recover endurance up to your endurance stat, and here's the nice part. Is that say Lost Joke here used only 2 endurance, so she has like 3 stamina left, right? And she takes rest. She will go up to her max of 5, and then the 3 excess she will get in health. So that's kind of nice. It's like a way to heal. But of course it uses, a full action. And then finally, you can use a special, which is none of us have any specials except for Craig, who has his charge special. You can also potentially get specials from your class cards as you level up and get those. Or for instance, I think some of the supply cards have special things. But again, that's kind of inherent. Like it's an action. If it has a little arrow icon, it costs an action. So one last thing. You can take strain to move 1 space up to 2 times in 1 turn. So for instance, if Diala was like right here, but she really wants to like double attack this Imperial officer, but obviously she would have to move in order to do that. She could, if she still has endurance left, use 1 strain to move, and then she still has both of her actions, and she can double attack this Imperial officer. And if she really wants to, she can take another strain to then move away. But of course, she can only do that twice per turn. Are we here so far?
I guess so.
Are we okay? All right, we'll go over this more. So, when your turn is done, if you would please just flip over your activation token. Welcome back. So that's red side, so that we know that you're done. This is so that it's easier to keep track, because like I said, there is no set turn order. We decide who goes when, every round. But obviously, if you've already gone, you're not going to go again that round. And the way it works is rebels always go first, so someone on the rebel side will go first, and then when it's the Imperial's turn, one of these cards will go. But this does not necessarily mean that only one figure will go. If you look at the Stormtrooper card, you can see up in the top left it has these 3 little bars on it. These 3 little gray bars. That means there are 3 figures on this card. That means 3 Stormtroopers will get to go, one right after each other. And the way that works is that one figure will resolve both of his actions, and then the next one will resolve both of his actions, and then the next one will resolve both of its actions, and then that's its turn. And then play comes back to us. So we will go again, and then the Imperials will go again, and then we will go again, and then the Imperials will go again, until everybody has gone. And then that's a round. In this case, missions will have varying goals. Usually the Empire wants to do something as simple as kill all of us. We usually want to do something that's more complicated than simply killing all of them. In this case, for the tutorial mission, we just want to kill all of them. And the Empire, in order to win, wants to interact with both of these terminals, or kill one of us. So we get to start. Who wants to go first? Actually, before we do that, we're also gonna do this. So this is extra. This is for the automated Imperial thing that we're using to make this a full co-op game. Every start of the round, we draw an event card, and it takes effect. So in this case, we drew all Imperial figures gain 1 speed, and this is just for this round. Put it like down here. Doesn't matter. Also, don't worry about the threat on this meter. That's a campaign thing, which we will talk about later. So, we need to keep in mind that all Imperial figures are going to gain 1 speed. But, who wants to go first? Nobody wants to go first. Alright, I will go first. Where am I? Okay, I'm here. I'm going to use my first action to open this door. By the way, you cannot voluntarily close doors. You can only open them. Just to let you guys know.
That's dumb.
Well, you know, there are certain missions that might have closing doors, but generally you cannot close doors. Alright, that's my first action. Then I'm going to use my second action to move. What's my move? 4. Move 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna move right here. And I am done. Because that's all I can do. Let's see. I also have, I need to look at my specials. So my special is Lone Wolf at the end of your activation, at the end of my turn. If there are no friendly figures adjacent to you, recover 1 strain. I don't have any strain to recover. I don't have any HP to recover, so I would get that as HP if I didn't have any strain, but that's it. Alright, so now the Stormtroopers are gonna go. Stormtroopers follow this little mini card that's right next to the Stormtrooper card. They all follow this. This is for the automated the co-op thing. Stormtroopers want to get within a range of 5 to someone. They will not attack if they are not within range. If they are within range, they will advance 1, attack, and then retreat. They will never go beyond range 5. So if they're in range, if they're like right at 5, they'll just go to 4, they'll attack, and then they'll go back to 5, no matter how many speeds they have. If they have no target within range, they'll move toward the target. And it's basically, they go down this list. So they always start with the first one. If they can't do the first one, they'll do the second one. If they can't do the second one, they'll do the third one, etc., until they get some that they can do, and then it starts over. And keep in mind that every figure has 2 actions. In this case, specifically for this AI thing, the Stormtrooper that is closest to a hero goes first. In this case, it's going to be this guy. This Stormtrooper has a speed of 5. And he is going to... 1, 2, 3, 4. He is actually within range. So let's talk about line of sight. My line. There we go. So to determine line of sight, you have to draw 2 lines from 1 of the attacker's points to 2 of the defender's points. That do not hit anything. So in this case, I could draw a line from this corner. You guys can see this line, right?
Yeah.
So I can draw from here. That doesn't hit anything. That's fine. I can draw from here. That doesn't hit anything. That's perfectly fine. And you cannot draw a line of sight through like an unrelated figure, but because this is a corner, this can work. This Stormtrooper, for instance, the one that's like right next to him, could not attack anybody. He's like surrounded. If there was someone like right here, he could attack him, but there's not. So this stormtrooper would have to move in order to attack someone. But this one does not, and he is within range 5. So he is going to advance 1, attack, and then retreat. So he is going to move right here. This helps him with his accuracy. He's going to attack me with a blue and a green. Let me go ahead and grab blue and a green for this guy. Go ahead and grab a black for him too. Next week we'll use the nice dice pools. So if someone would be so kind as to here, I'll move this down here so we can easily see. Roll for the stormtrooper.
What's their color?
I got him right here. Just use these two. Go ahead.
I get rid of this block die since another block die right here.
Yeah, this is actually my black die, but yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and roll. Lost joke. Alright, so this stormtrooper has an accuracy of 3. 1, 2, 3. That would hit. He does 2 damage. Which are directly negated by my 2 block. It was 2 block. I accidentally, there we go. He also has a surge, which he could spend on +1 damage, which he does if he can. So I take 1 damage. Unfortunate for me. And then he is going to retreat 1 back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's actually going to retreat all the way back here. And that is that particular stormtrooper's move. The next closest would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're both. So I'm just gonna do this guy. This guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's gonna go 1 forward to be in range. He's going to also attack me. Lost Hook, if you would please, or anyone can roll. 4 accuracy. He definitely has that. 1, 2, 3, 4. He does 1 damage and has 2 surges. I negate 1 damage and still have 2 blocks. He could use his surge to get another damage, but I still block that, so he does nothing to me. And then he will move back again. But not further than 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's his range. And then finally, this stormtrooper will now go.
Not that one.
Not this one. This stormtrooper will go. Oh. He'll move forward 1, 2, 3, 4. He will go ahead and attack me. Oh, I forgot to use his special, but that's okay. Well, this is just his tutorial, so it doesn't matter. He rolls a 6 accuracy, which is definitely within. He does 3 damage, potentially 4 damage. -2 is 2 damage to me. And then that is all he does, and then he just he goes back 1. And then that is the stormtroopers done. Now it's back to us. Someone else on the rebel side can go. All right. Craig, you were gone for most of the explanation. Do you need more explanation? Do you know what your options are right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna move.
Okay. You can move up to 4. And you can move again if you want.
I'm gonna charge.
Okay.
This guy.
This E-Web engineer.
Yeah.
It's charged to
so take 2 strain.
Yes, you do. We'll do that for you. I'll keep track. Let me actually let me do this. Where's the strain tokens? There's no strain tokens on here. Let's just use these surge tokens. This is not what these are supposed to be used for, but I'll grab some strain tokens for the actual campaign. So that's 2. There.
So I charge him and try to hit him with my vibro axe.
Yep, so you roll those. He is going to roll 1 black die. You do 4 damage. -1, so 3 damage on this E-Web engineer. 1, 2, 3. Is there anything that he can do about that? Nope. Nothing he can do about that. So that's it. And so that's both of your actions.
Yeah.
So go ahead and flip your little thing so we know that you have gone this round. All right. Well, now it's time for the E-Web engineer. So you'll notice that he's facing this way. Facing does not matter in this game. This is just for looks. He can attack Garçon if he wants.
Your face is just for looks.
Which he is going to do because he's the closest. So he is going to attack you. Let's see. Basically twice. So, Garçon, you need to roll...
Can't attack twice.
He can, because his card says he can. So there are exceptions to rules. Generally, figures cannot attack twice, unless it says that they can, in which case, it does. So what are you rolling? A black? And this guy is rolling a blue, red, and yellow. So obviously he has the accuracy, although he does have to get at least 1 accuracy in order to attack you. So if he didn't get any accuracy, he would actually miss, even though you're right next to him. He does 1, 2, 3, 4, -1 is 3 damage. He did not roll any surges, so he can't spend anything for that. So you get 3 damage, which I will... 1, 3, and then for damage, I guess we'll use these.
I also become focused, whatever that means.
Yeah, you do. So if you come up here, towards the top, there are cards. Here's a focused card for you. So let's see, what does focus mean? When you declare an attack or an attribute test, add 1 green die to the dice pool. So that means you just roll a green die in addition to whatever you roll. You don't get to pick when you use this, so just next time you attack or attribute test, you get a green die and then you lose focused.
Or you should add the damage counter yourself.
Oh, yeah. Alright, I will. Let me... You know what? Let's do this. Where is... Here we go. Let me do this instead. We'll use this.
Yep.
There we go. Go ahead and set this to your max HP. Pick your color and set this to your max HP, and then just
Why can't I pick it up?
You need to click it like on the side. This. There we go. And then, if you want to like... if you want to copy it and use that for your strain as well, feel free to do so. Again, I'm sorry. I really, I guess we should have tested it. You can just click on the little words and say endurance or something. There.
Everyone has 4 endurance?
Not everyone. You actually have,
Oh.
yeah, you have 4. Lost Joke has 5. I have 4. Craig has 4. Total. Alright. This guy is going to attack you again, Craig. Because that's what he's going to do. Roll your die. There's a black die up here already. Ready? He does 2 damage. He gets 2 surge. Which he is going to use both of. So he's actually going to add 1 damage. So that's 1, 2, 3 damage. Minus your 2, so 1 damage. But he's also going to recover 2 damage with his other surge. Because he can do that. And that's what he's going to do. And that's his turn. Change this music a little bit. Let's do, this one. A little tension. Alright. Lost Joke or Rill. Who wants to go?
Sure.
Okay, Rill wants to go.
Move 5.
You can move 5. You can also, I mean, you can move twice. Keep that in mind, but you couldn't do anything else, so.
Let's go to the box.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. That's all you need. You can interact with the box. So, to open the box, go ahead and take it. This doesn't matter for right now because we're not playing a campaign, but you would take it into your play area. There's a space for it above your thingy. This would get counted after the mission is over. Also, take 1 supply card and put it in your play area and look at it and see what it does, and you can use it as prescribed. So in this case, discard this card after you rest. You or an adjacent friendly figure recovers 5 damage. That's in addition to whatever you are resting. And this is consumable. You would use this once and then it would go away.
All right.
Also, you move 3, so you have 2 more.
So I could move 2 more back towards the.
You can if you want. Yes.
Punch up.
Also keep in mind that things from the supply box, you only have during the mission in which you got them. At the end of the mission, you would put it away.
All right.
And not have it anymore. All right. So go ahead and flip your little card over, little activation.
So that's why Kyle keeps losing his scope.
What?
He keeps losing the scope for his E11.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's from the supply deck.
Oh yeah, that is why. All right, probe droid. This is an elite probe droid. You can tell he's elite because he has a red card. Also, his base is red. Is this darker red? It's not Real's red. It's like this red. Elites are just like more powerful versions. Also, if you look at the AI card, you'll see this red E. This means the figure in question will only do this if he is an elite. So what's he going to do? He is going to pick the closest person in range, which is going to be Craig, of course. If he is within range, which he is, he's within 4. 1, 2, 3. This guy is going to advance 1, which he can't really do. I mean, he can, but it's not going to matter because he can't actually get any closer with only 1 movement. So he's not going to do that. Then attack a target. Then retreat. He prioritizes being adjacent to 2 or more rebels, which he can't really do. Let's see. And then if attacking, use targeting computer to reroll any attack die that rolls no damage, which he is going to do. So he is going to not move, but he is going to attack Craig with blue, yellow, yellow, blue, Yellow.
Don't his
Yellow.
friends obstruct his line of sight?
You're right, they do. So actually, he is going to move anyway. So he gets a speed of 5. So he's going to move 1, 2. He can attack from here because again, line of sight. Let's test this from any of his corners to 2 of any of your corners. He can attack. This is unobstructed. This is unobstructed. So he can attack. Also, you can go along walls, so or along figures. So he could test from this corner instead to here, but he could not test along the same line. Like he would have to get here to here. But you know, obviously he still has it from here. So he moved 1, 2. So he still has 3 move remaining, which he will use. But he's still going to attack you, Craig. So. Here we go. Well, he got 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's enough accuracy. He did 2 damage. He gets to re-roll an attack die, is what it says. That has no damage, so he's going to re-roll this one. He gets the same result. That's fine. Craig got 2, so that negates this, basically, but he still has 2 surges, which he is going to use. He is going to use the extra 2 damage for 1, so that's 2 damage. And then he is going to use Pierce for the other, and that's Pierce 2. That directly destroys your block. Pierce basically goes through your blocks. So he still does 4 damage to you, Craig. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then he is going to retreat. He moved 2, so he's going to move 3.
It's weird that it says he retreats, but it also says prioritize being adjacent to 2 or more rebels.
So
retreat. He doesn't want to move away.
Yeah, retreat specifically. This is again in the AI rules. Retreat specifically is mentioned as moving away, up to range. Actually, I don't think he would move there. I think he would move. Really, he probably wouldn't retreat at all from here.
Those are contradictory. To retreat and to prioritize being adjacent to the.
When
rebels.
he is moving, he will do that. I don't know. We're just gonna play it like this. He's done anyway. Lost joke. It is your turn. Also, how much damage did you take? Let me do that. You're down to
Moving up to the door, but I'm not opening it.
6. Craig.
I think that means if he can get adjacent to 2 rebels, then he'll do it.
Yeah. So maybe I moved him. I moved him wrong at the start.
No, because there's no way he can be adjacent to 2 rebels at once right now.
That's true. All right, lost joke.
I moved, but I'm not opening the door yet.
Okay. Well, do you want to do anything else?
No.
Why not? You want to just... That's a wasted action.
Yeah, you can't save actions. You don't get 3 actions next round because you didn't take one this time. All right.
Well, if as soon as I open the door, the people with guns can shoot me.
True, but the people with guns are generally going to shoot whoever's closest. Right now, that is Craig. You could be closest for the probe droid, but no, you're not. You're definitely not. That's 1, 2. Could be 1, 2. You could.
If you just sit there, then they're not going to open the door for you. You're just going to.
No, I want them closer. I'm melee.
I know, but they're not going to open the door for you, so you're just going to be there next turn with the door closed.
You need to get into melee on your own.
I also want Rill behind me to start shooting as well.
I don't think I can shoot for you.
You can't shoot through anything, including people.
I want you next to me on your next turn, so when I open the door, you can start blasting
I want you
while
close
I run
to me.
in and start slashing.
I want you close to me always.
Do you understand my plan now?
Lost Joke can do whatever the hell he wants. Lost Joke is going to do
Alright.
whatever the hell Lost Joke wants to do. Are you done, Lost Joke?
Yes, I'm done. Why
Then
do you
flip
guys
your-
question
I'm
every time?
because you need to flip your fucking token,
Because-
Lost Joke.
Also because I'm gonna die. Because you don't want like one of the guys to maybe shoot at you.
One?
Also, Lost Joke, let me
Yeah,
also
they're-
explain this to you. The only person
There's
who still
theoretically
has
2 guys who might shoot at you.
in this round, the only person who still has left to go is the Imperial Officer. He's the only person to go in this round. Next round, anybody of our team can go first, including you if you would like to.
All right, fine. I'll come out swinging.
Okay.
There. That's as far as I can move.
Okay.
But now I can only attack once. So I'll attack the probe droid.
You can't though. Your round your thing is done.
You had to open the door.
Okay, I'll stand here like a lemon.
I mean, you didn't also have to move there. You could have just opened the door and stayed there if you really wanted to.
No, I've already changed my mind and I'm
All
here.
right. All right.
Let it happen.
Okay. The Imperial Officer. He is a regular Imperial Officer, so he has a range of 4. He's not going to do this first thing. If within range of a friendly figure that is not within range of a target, which he's not really. Everybody's kind of in range of a target. He's not going to do that. If within range of any target, advance 1, then attack a target, then retreat. Closest to him is Lost Joke. So he's going to advance 1. He's going to attack Lost Joke with a blue and a yellow. You evade and block, so you basically take this die out of the equation. He has 1 surge, which he is probably going to spend on the damage, so basically you take 1 damage. And then he is going to move back again. And that's his turn. And that's everybody, it looks like. So now is the end of the round. End of the round is when we turn all these cards over. Do not turn any of your cards over. So sometimes you might have a card that you use that you exhaust. For people, for us, we don't turn anything over until it is our turn. Does that make sense?
Do I turn over my
But you do turn over.
activation token?
Yes, you do turn over that. But like if you had a card that says like exhaust this card to do something, you would not turn that over until it is your turn.
Alright.